Just yesterday, we told you on WION that the United States delivered the first F-16 fighter aircraft to Taiwan, marking the first of the 66 fighter jets that will be supplied to Taiwan by the United States. And on the back of this development, the United States appears to be shifting its military focus solely towards China. A secret Pentagon memo reveals that the U.S. military is being realigned to counter a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan, while reducing its presence in other global hotspots. According to reports, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered a strategic overhaul, emphasizing deterrence against Beijing, while scaling back U.S. deployment elsewhere. The classified document, known as the Interim National Defense Strategic Guidance, was reportedly circulated within the U.S. Department of Defense early this month. Signed by Hegseth himself, the memo reportedly lays out an aggressive approach to securing America's interests, highlighting U.S. President Donald Trump's vision of prioritizing national security against China above all else. The Trump administration and the Biden administration both identified China as the top threat to U.S. national security. But this latest guidance goes a step further, identifying the defense of Taiwan as the central scenario around which all military planning must revolve. The document reportedly states, and I'm quoting here, China is the sole pacing threat, quote unquote. The memo categorically shifts American military priorities towards the Indo-Pacific region, further outlining a plan designed specifically around a potential war with China. It involves bolstering troop presence through submarines, bombers, unmanned vessels, specialized military units. The plan also prioritizes weapons capable of striking hardened or underground targets and improving the security of U.S. bases in the Indo-Pacific. Additionally, it states that the Pentagon is working to pre-position military supplies and streamline logistics to ensure rapid response capabilities in the event of a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. Pete Hegseth recently toured the Indo-Pacific region, meeting with American troops in Guam, stressing that they are on the front lines of this emerging conflict with China.
Allies in this neighborhood see the encroachment of communist China with very different intentions. And again, we hope to have a peaceful relationship with them. But we also stand with our allies to defend against that encroachment and defend American interests.
Meanwhile, the memo also places pressure on Taipei to increase its defense spending to as much as 10% of its GDP to national security. And by the way, Taiwan has taken steps towards increasing its spending. Its president recently announced an increase in defense spending to over 3% of the GDP, up from around 2.5% as part of a broader military overhaul. And China responded swiftly, dispatching fighter jets and warships near Taiwan. The memo is clearly a major shift in the U.S. defense strategy. The country's focus is no longer on balancing threats across multiple regions. It's now squarely on Beijing. As tensions rise, one question remains. Is the U.S. preparing for an inevitable war with China? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.